Hiya folks, we're back in the log cabin again for a little bit of tinkering. Now, I've had this MXR3500 for probably about two and a half years. And I tried to start it in a previous video and it wouldn't start. What happened was that I left the old fuel in, that E10 fuel, and I had another generator down there which I actually got running. I took the carb off and stripped that down, cleaned it out, another brand new generator, and I'm going to need to do the same to this one. Now, I've never had this apart before, and I haven't seen any videos online of how to take this apart, so that's what we're going to be doing today, getting the carb off, hopefully cleaning the carb, and then this thing will start running again. So let's get the side panel off. I think this is the one we got to take off, and let's have a look and find out where the carb is located and get it off. Okay, so I believe the air filter cleaner lives behind this little box here. And to my way of thinking, the carb has got to be right near there, and I can actually see the carb up here. So if I just take the oil filler cover off as well, I can actually see the engine there. And if I just spin that around in the light a little bit, you can probably just see the carburetor sitting up here. And I think I'm going to need to take that apart. So looking at that, it looks like we've got some sort of inspection panel here. So I've got two Phillips screws there to take off. Let's get them undone. What's this at the top here? Oh, that's access to the spark plug as well, which is up there. You see, it sits quite deep in there actually. So let's get these two crosshead screws out. Again, this is actually a brand new generator. It's done no work whatsoever apart from the initial startup for a review. And it's just sat there. I should have drained the carb out. And I've done that on the other one now. I've actually drained the carb out on that one. So that's that off. Now, does this just pull forward? Let's have a look here. Or is there some other sort of clips in it? There is another screw here. Look, I don't know whether that's anything to do with it, but it's on the black part. So let's have a little look, undo that, see what happens. Right, okay. Let's have a little go here. Maybe you've got to pull it, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, folks. Oh, here we go. It's on rubber bungs. It sits on rubber bungs, so there you go. So you just pull it out, and there's little rubber bungs there, which it sits in there, 3 of them there, and obviously clips at the bottom there as well. There we go. Well, that's actually easier than what I thought to find the carburetor. I don't know whether we're going to have to take anything further down. There is some sort of cradle or frame here by the looks of it. There's screws on it, so do I need to get to that to undo that carburetor? Possibly. There is a drain facility there, as you say, that runs down there, look, to actually drain it out, which is handy to know for the next time. I suppose first things first, I need to take off the 2 bolts there. There's one there and one there that get the carburetor off. So if I just take this pipe off there, and it looks like the throttle is just one little, looks like an 8mm there to undo the cable for us to release the cable there. There is a clamp there. Maybe you can get that when I pull the carb out, I'm not sure. So let's undo that throttle cable and let's undo these 10mm screws. So we want a 10mm. Right, might need the extension on there. No, that's fine. So if we just undo this 2 here. Right, that's 1. Right, 2. Now, as I say, I don't know whether there's any other screws that hold that air filter in or not. Seems a bit tight in there still. Or maybe that tube can come out, look. There's a metal plate on the top there. Maybe the top pulls off, I'm not sure. I'll lean that forward. There we go, yeah. So you can actually take, the air filter box stays in situ. That little tube pulls out, which gets that bracket off as well. Right, now hopefully that carb should come forward, which it does. But I'm going to need to disconnect the cable. So if I can pull that off maybe. Or do I need to get that cable out first? I'm just wondering whether there is a way of getting this panel off here. Maybe it does mean taking off these 2 bolts there. Maybe that pivots up, I'm not sure. I'm going to try and undo it just to see what that does release. They are 10mm as well. Let's just have a look. It seems possible because screw access to that screw comes from above. I'll take them out anyway, and we can assess the situation. That's them 2 out. Maybe that one at the middle, in the middle there as well, I'm not sure. Right, has that loosened anything? Oh, here we go, look. I just tipped it back. That's pulled out of there. It looks like, let me turn it back sideways. It looks like you may have to undo these as well around that side. I'll take the middle one out just to have a look. Has that loosened anything off? Yes, look, not the bottom one, just the middle one, and maybe the top one. Not sure. Let's just take that top one out anyway. See what that does. Anything? Right, I think this does separate by possibly removing these two screws in the handle as well. Maybe this whole side case comes off. So I'll take these out as well. Like that. Right, and then what's that done for us? Anything? Right, okay, we're getting there. I think you have to undo the screws from the other side of the handle as well, which I'll just do. There's two in there as well. Right, that's the two. That looks okay, that looks like it. So, maybe that will come out now. There we go. There we go, folks. And I'll just flick that over the top there. And that gives us now full access to our carburetor, as you can see there. So, all we've got to do is to take off or undo that screw there and unloosen that clamp there. And that should get our cable off as well. The fuel tank is in the way a little bit, as you can see, but maybe just enough for me to lever over and just pinch that and release that off like that. It's just a clamp at the end of the day, so we're loosening that I think will do the job. Making a note there's about two little bits sticking through, and then just holding back on the flats and just loosening that cable off like that. Should enable me to withdraw that cable, which it does, and then hopefully the carb should come straight out, which it does. There is the fuel line on the other side of there. I don't know if you can see that, folks. There you go. So I'm just going to unclip that, pull the clip off. Hopefully that should just pull out. There we go. That's it. And the it looks like some sort of electronic choke on there, I would imagine, as well. So that's got to come off. There is a lid on it. Just push that cover off. There we go. And then you've got two Phillips screws in there as well to remove what looks like an automatic choke. Two. And that just withdraws like that. And that sits into a little slot. There's a little slot there, look. And that's got to sit back into that little slot in there. Right, that's the carb off. Right, okay, we've got it on the bench now. So first of all, I'm going to take the float bowl off first of all. That should be a 10mm. And I must say that fuel smells very much like a lacquer. There we go, let's just get that undone. 9 times out of 10, when you've left fuel in like I have, it's normally the main jet that's blocked, or the emulsion tube. So again, this is a brand new carb, don't forget. It's only been used to fire up for testing purposes. Now I'm just looking, before I take it off, the little screw for the drain is on the outside, so I'm looking at that for position. So I can get that off. Get me a little copper mallet. Wow, that is firm. I've never seen one that firm for such a new carb. There we go. There we go. All right, let's pull that off. In actual fact, it sits in a ridge. Yeah, look at that, look. That's a brand new carb, that, look. Unbelievable, isn't it? Just shows you how much crap there is in this E10 fuel. So let's just take the float out by removing that and lifting that out. And underneath, it's just dropped off there is the needle jet. Let's just click that out. Should be okay, that's brand new, isn't it? Right, now, where I think we've got issues, and I can see crap in there already, is where the main jet sits in there and also the emulsion tube. So let me just get a screwdriver, which I'm hoping fits in this carb. No, it doesn't, look. How about that? It's a narrow channel, look. You got to get a good fitting screwdriver on these carburetors, on these little brass screws, because you round these off and you're in all sorts of issues. Right, here we go. No. Oh, hello. This could be problems. I heard that dreaded noise of stripping brass then, folks. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Give me a second. I'm going to put an edge on this screwdriver. This is the one that fits in the slot, but it's not actually the best. So let me just grind this. I'll be back in a minute. Right, okay, back again. I've put a brand new edge on that. You probably can't see it all that well. Nice sharp edges on it. So let's try this now. The last thing you want to do is strip one of these off in there. Oh, I think I got it. I think I'm not, well, I'm hoping I've got it. Yeah, I can see that now. Look, it's coming out, but I might have to create a new slot in that for the future if I ever take it off in the future. If this is what that old fuel does, you should drain it out every time, people. I've never really done that before, to be honest with you. But there again, E10 is quite a new thing, so. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to put a deeper groove in there. You can't see it, folks, but that is totally blocked. Now, I'm also expecting the emulsion tube to be totally blocked as well, so let's see if we can get that out. Should fall out in a second. There we go. So those are the two things that will cause the non-starting. And the crap I could see in there. Right, okay. What I'm going to do is clean these out. Where's me? Wait there for a minute. Right, I've got a set of welder's torch files there, and also these miniature drill bits, very small thumb drill bits they're called. And I'm just, first of all, just going to try and take the smallest of the files and just try and, yeah, I'm holding it up to the light and I can't see anything through that. There's a light right in front of me, so I'm just going to push that through, and it's now gone through, and I can now see daylight. So that was definitely blocked, and that just shows you this was new fuel put in this thing when it was new a couple of years ago, or it may not have even been a couple of years ago. I'm not too sure when I've done the review on it. So holding it up to the light now, I can see straight through that, no problem whatsoever. So that was definitely one problem. Now this again is the emulsion tube, which can also cause lots of problems. And again, these have got tiny little holes all around them. So you want to be getting the welding thing. They do actually go through. Sometimes you need to get the smaller drill bits out. What I've got, the thumb drills. But I'm going to just go through all this, and then I'll clean it out with a carb clean spray, and also with the compressed air as well. Right, that's it. That's everyone gone through now. So I'm going to clean this down with the carb spray all around there, all through this chamber here, all through there, through these little holes there, all the slow running jets and stuff like that. And also under here is a slow running jet as well, which I'm going to need to take this bracket off to get to. We'll have a look at that in a minute, but let's get this bracket off first, then we can get this slow running jet out, or this pilot's jet out, and then clean all that out as well. Right, so 2 Phillips screws out, that bracket just literally lifts off like that. We've got this little jet that sits under there, and for that I need to take out that Phillips screw. There we go. Just removes that little retaining plate on there. A lot of these carbs don't have this little retaining plate on, but this one obviously does. There we go. And then that little jet should, I can get a screwdriver in from that way maybe. There we go, it lifts up. And just lifts out. Easier said than done. There we go. It's got rubber seals on it, folks, so make sure you don't dislodge them. There we go. And in the end of that, you've got a very tiny little hole. And that's what I use these little thumb drills for, to get that one unblocked. If your engine's surging, there's a very good chance it'll be that one. I'm going to try the little yellow one. There we go. And that should go through there, which it does here. And I felt a bit of resistance there, I think, first of all, so I think it might have been blocked. So if your engine's surging, there's a good chance this jet is blocked. There we go. You've got 2 rubber seals on there, so make sure they're still there. And then get your carb cleaner and just run it through. Both directions. There you go, I see that come out of that big hole in, which shows it's clear. There we go. So that's that done. Let's leave that to one side. I'll just run some through our main jet as well. There we go, nothing wrong with that one now. That was blocked before. And also in the chambers, all these little chambers there that you can find, you want to go through all the little chambers. Down where the seat is for the needle jet, and also clean out your main emulsion tube as well, because you saw the crap that come out of there. The bowl, as you can see how dirty that bowl is. If I get that on there like that and get some blue roll, give that a good wipe in, see what this does. Yeah, there's still a lot of lacquer build up in there. Look at that, look. You might need Scotch-Brite pad in there as well. Let's just get a little bit more of that in there. See what that does. See if that helps. If not, we'll be leaving it. Wow. No, it's not really moved it, is it? That's actually stained the aluminium. So the only way for me to get that out would be to sandblast it, but I'm not going to do that. If it's not coming off with that, that lacquer's really eating into there. So I'll just give it a dry out and we'll call that a day. It just shows you this fuel, what it's like, doesn't it? And now the importance of cleaning your carbs out, or draining them rather. Right, so I'm just going to blow air through that. So we'll get the air line. I'll just blow through the emulsion tube. And also the main jet. And let's get this thing put back together. Now what I'm going to do first is to just increase the depth of that slot on there with a hacksaw blade. So I'm going to do that. I won't do that on camera, folks. As you see, one edge is actually gone on it, to make it a little bit deeper, and then I'll give it a final clean, and then we'll put it back together. Right, okay then. So, emulsion tube goes in with the long way going inwards first. So let's drop that in. There we go. Then we've got the main jet. I've made that slot bigger there. Look, you can't see it really, can you? So let's put that in. That should screw in nicely now, that. And then again, just snug it up. Don't put all your weight behind it. As soon as it bottoms out, then you're good to go. Right, that's just bottomed out, and I'm just going to go like this, look, little. That's it, a little twist. Right, that's that in. So that's that done there. We've got our little jet to put in here. Again, making sure that the thing goes in. It's got sides on it, so it can only go in one way. There we go, that's pushed in there. With our little retaining screw to sit over the top of it. On little bits like this, really difficult with these blinking rubber gloves on, folks. I did put it on to protect my hands from the carb spray. I might take them off in a minute. There we go, that's that one in. We've got our float to go back in. Just have a quick look at that. That's, again, look how discoloured that is on the top there, look. That's pure fuel discoloration, that, look. And underneath it, in fact, I'm going to need to take these gloves off for this because it's quite fiddly. We've got the little needle there, which hangs on the little tab underneath. And then you've got to keep that tip back, or you drop it in the hole without dropping it. like it's just dropped off now. Very fiddly. You don't want too much coffee when you're doing this job. There we go, that's gone in. Pivot pin back in. There we go. Like that. Just make sure it is on there. Yes, it is. And now, if I remember rightly, let's turn that over the other way. That was the front of the carb. Like that. Which means the bowl wants to go on this way round. Like that. Now we can get our 10mm. Put this back in. And just snip that up. I've got to go mad. And hopefully that should be it. All we've got then is our bracket to put on, which goes on that way. 2 Phillips screws. Just snip them up. 1, 2, there we go. And hopefully that's the carb back together. Right, let's get this back together now. Now we've got to get this in here first, making sure that engages in the slot underneath, which it does. So we just get them 2 screws back in there. I'm not going to over force them. Right, that's that. So now we've got to slide this back in, but before we do that, let's put that petrol pipe on first. A bit difficult for you to see this, people, but that's what I'm doing. There we go. And I can actually see there's a fuel filter, I think, inline in there, back there, which you can't see, but it just goes to show that even crap gets past the fuel filter. Right, that slides back on there like that. We need to get a cable back through the clamp in there, and it was just sticking through a couple of millimeters. If I do that up there, there we go, that's back in place, and I can see where the kink is in that cable for me to get the same setting again, just about there. So if I just hold that back there, and tighten that down, that's the cable back to as it should be. So we've got to get this in now, which should just push in somehow. Right, there we go, is that nearly in? Right, that's in. Like that. Then our 2 nuts there. Now the beauty of this is, hopefully I'll be able to start it up without having to put the side casing on. So I can check for leaks and things like that. Right, that's the 10mm on. Could do with a little extension on there actually. There we go. Right, okay, so that's that one. Then we got the breather hose from here onto there. Just like that. And I think we're ready for fuel. Right, let's put some fresh fuel in it. There we go. That should do. Drop the fuel filter in. Fuel cap. Okay, right. There we go. Just put that cover back on. Right. I think we have to pull start from the other side. So if I just put you there and come around here and turn it to the choke position. Looks like it's there. That should be on. Now it might take a couple of pulls. Oh, there we go. Straight away. Look at that. So flip that over. Check for any leaks at all. Absolutely fine. Wow, that was easy, wasn't it? superb. Right, I'm going to leave that running now for probably about 15-20 minutes because it's not done any work. And just put the side covers back on, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, all back together, folks. Let's try it one more time. I'll just leave it in the run position because it has been started before. There we go. Lovely old job. Got to be happy with that. And the good thing is as well, is that by just removing that side cover, there's the drain down screw. Afterwards, I'll be draining this carb out and making sure this doesn't happen again. There you go. Hope that was interesting, folks. Hope you got a little bit out of that if you've got one of these. I haven't seen any other videos doing a carb clean on one of these yet, so hopefully this will help those people out with one of these carburetors on one of these MXR 36500s or whatever it is. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.